So, you see that until now we have covered 4 sutras. Look at it. What is that? Ati Yoga Anushashanam. Yoga is a discipline and education of the mind. So when you are thinking, when you are repeating, after listening through the audios, and then you start contemplating. Yoga is discipline and education of the mind. But what yoga is? Yoga is the highest state of mindfulness. But what is mindfulness? So normally we talk about it is emptiness. So I will take you to that emptiness. So now, okay, emptiness. So emptiness means that mind should not contain any of its object. Now what did you learn? That this mind lives in 5 subjective states. Mind is dreaming of a heaven. It is obsessed. Mind is alternating the thoughts in the images, wandering state. Okay. And the mind is, the mind is totally obsessed with some fancies and imagination, the mudha. Oh, these states cannot achieve mindfulness. Now you see, you are contemplating. What will happen one day that you become aware of the very classification of these subjective states of the mind. We are going little deeper. So I'm summarizing the 4 sutras. So what is going to happen? You are at your workplace. You are talking to your employees. You are discussing something serious. And at the same time you become aware, oh, it's a wandering state. Let me hold on. Return to the 4th state of one-pointedness. Why? So 2 things will happen. When you return to one-pointedness, it will help you at your work. At the same time, the mind will get an idea that I have to live in one-pointedness in order to succeed in meditation. That is how the contemplation should work in your life. You're talking to your honey, and the mind has some obsession. It wants to express it, and you hold on to it. No, only 2 states. I want to live only in 2 states. You see, that is how it should work. What I said, contemplation and reflection. Then I'm thinking, contemplating. So what is the 2nd sutra? Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is emptying the mind of its content. Have you ever thought of what do you mean by emptiness? We simply say, okay, emptiness. No, I understood. We have to reflect on this emptiness. I'll come to that emptiness later. And then what happens? In the entire Buddha meditation, what we say? Emptiness, nothingness. Yeah? We all know it. We have read it. We have Googled it. Right? Emptiness, nothingness. So when you follow the principles of the Buddha, they say, I am nothingness. They don't believe in the entity which is I. It's not a question of belief. We are not followers. We are seekers. But Patanjali goes a step further. Did you contemplate on this? Yoga, mindfulness is emptying the mind of its content. So then the 3rd sutra, what it says? When you empty the mind of its content, when there is a state of nothingness, I see that nothingness. Buddha says, only nothingness. You are no more. he stops there. Patanjali says, no, I witness nothingness. And who is this I? That I is my real self. Are you getting it? That I is my real nature. So still there are two things. I witness nothingness, I see nothingness. In Buddha, only nothingness. Forget about I. In Patanjali, we say yes. So he begins with that I witness that nothingness. Do you see that? Now go to the fourth. When you do not live in a meditative state, this mind take you to the path of the craziness by engaging you into the first three states. I gave you one example. When
on
this
the website dictionary.com, they say, one of a number of things, or a part of something, taken to show the character of the whole. This painting is an example of his early work. A pattern or model, as of something to be imitated or avoided, to set a good example.
This is
to
one
find out
thing.
more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
This is wandering mind. You see that? This is how it happens. You know, the mind is following a specific path, and your mind returns to that kind of an wandering state. So what we were talking, that when we do not live into that state of emptiness, then the mind goes back to the first three states. One of them is, what is that? One of them? When this mind is totally absorbed into the body, it gives you a sense of forgetfulness mind. On the other hand, you get an idea that I'm in meditation. When you get a shock, all the thought stops. When you feel too much tired, the mind goes into the body. So we have to recognize these subtle states of the mind. One example. So now the fourth one. Now understand, when we say nothingness, when we follow the path of the Buddha, we are nothingness. What does it mean? Take an example. You sink into an ocean. Now you do not return. You don't recognize yourself. There is no I, nothingness. What Patanjali says? Third sutra. Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Then, in the second stage of meditation or mindfulness, I see that nothingness. I witness that nothingness. So you see that I'm using the same emptiness and nothingness in three stages. And what is the third stage? Because our mind has been recognizing the waves in the ocean are separate. But now I don't see that separation. That is the climax of meditation. So you see that? You use the emptiness in all the three stages, three steps. So Buddha's emptiness stops there, nothingness. Let me give you, I'm just out of a joke. Let me give you anesthesia. Your brain stops working. Is that mindfulness? That happens in the second subjective state of the mind. The mind gets totally obsessed with one thing. It is absorbed into the body. You don't have a thought. That is also nothingness. So our master says, no, we have to continue the journey. We have to continue the journey. So Patanjali clarifies, I see, I witness. This is my real nature. It is pure consciousness. Nothingness was a means to an end. In Buddhist meditation, nothingness is an end. Do you see that? So that is how the Buddha explains the 5 states of the mind. That is why I always say, please contemplate, reflect on this. The more and more you contemplate, just, as if you start thinking with eyes closed. Okay, what are these 4 sutras says? But what is going to happen in the ultimate, the climax? That nothingness has no existence. Why? It acts like a wave. It has no existence. Only the pure consciousness, the real self, that exists, and that real self is made up of pure consciousness, truth, love, and wisdom. Oh, I am permanent peace. I am love. Will you seek love outside? I am the wisdom. Do you seek any knowledge outside? See that. I am the truth. So nothingness in the ultimate journey becomes a means to an end. In the beginning, it is an end. Again, that end becomes a means. Oh, let me see that nothingness. That is what we see in the Saturday's session with that teaching. Are you getting it? That we do not understand, we do not want to understand. Nothingness, okay, nothingness. As if nothingness is my smartphone. No, I got it. It will not work. Then we cannot go deeper into meditation. So once we are clear that out of the 5 subjective states of the mind, only the 2 subjective states of the mind can take me to the journey of meditation. That is one-pointedness. When the one-pointedness of the mind means here that we become a seeker. Seeker. 1 point only. How I become a seeker? When I know what is discernment. When I know what is dispassion. When I know I can enter into calmness. I can withdraw my mind. I know the difference between the sense organs are absorbed into the objects and sense organs are withdrawn from the objects. When I know what exactly is the faith, that faith comes naturally, I have a clarity, I have a conviction in my mind. This is the meaning of one-pointedness. So normally you see that if you do not contemplate, what will happen? I know one-pointedness, my mind is constantly wandering. I cannot focus my mind. So then we talk of a concentration of psychology. In psychology, we have oscillation of attention and we say we have concentration. There are only 2 states in modern psychology. Oscillation of attention means wandering mind and focus. Focus on one object. At the same time, you are struggling to keep other objects at bay. Lara knows in psychology. We talk about only 2 states. So here the one-pointedness is totally different. So just think of it. Oh, we have to, this is what the nothingness, I see the nothingness. Now I see that nothingness is nothing but the waves. I am an ocean. So it is an integral part of my mind. I need not to worry it. I can enter into that state at any time, at will, with my awareness. Then what happens? You are living, you are working in meditation. So how to achieve that? What are the lot of stuff that we have to undergo? From experiencing the nothingness, actual nothingness. And I will take up that later, slowly, something I remember. So once you experience, once you start the journey of meditation, the Patanjali says that that glimpse of nothingness, you undergo the 4 stages, in which these 4 stages are known as Sampragyat Samadhi, Sampragyat meditation. You see gross objects. You have been talking to me about your experiences. So when you see the physical objects clearly, it is 1 stage. When you see the subtle objects, it becomes the 2nd stage. When you experience, no, I don't want to talk, I am totally absorbed in the joy, Ananda. The joy without object, joy. I saw an object full of joy. You just take an example that joy of looking at the moon, joy of looking at, I see the image of my honey. Only the joy takes the dominance. Another stage of meditation. And then what happens? In the 4th stage, you see that I am alone. I don't want to talk. I want to remain in quietness and silence. That is another stage. So now as we progress into this journey, we will recognize all these 4 stages of mindfulness and meditation. And then the 5th stage comes, which is known as Asampragyat Samadhi. Asampragyat means without any object. So you get a glimpse of nothingness. What I explained, nothingness of Buddha, I witness nothingness, and now nothingness is just an appearance. You see? So what happens as you go through 4 more stages, and at last what happens? Why you are talking of nothingness? It is a wave, and I am an ocean. I am the seer. There's nothingness is also a wave. The moment, the wave, the thought is a wave. This nothingness is a wave. Then you live, work and play in that state of mindfulness. Are you getting it? So one has to contemplate and reflect. Last thing. Contemplate. So how do you contemplate and reflect? Through the words. Words gives us a knowledge. What is a word? It is a thought. Thought is a product. It is a concept. Concept is a product of knowledge. But here the master adds viveka, discernment. So when you contemplate and reflect, what happens? The word, the thoughts remain at the physical level, and by the discernment, you enter into that knowledge in your mind. Then that knowledge takes the first 3 states of the mind at bay. You instantly recognize. Oh no, I don't want to keep my mind into that state. Done. So you start moving your mind into the 4th and the 5th state, and that takes you into a meditative state, even when you are talking, even when you are living. And that is why we have been doing what we have been doing, that mantra. What is mantra? Mantra is also a word. It's a knowledge. So we want to extract that knowledge from the world. And that knowledge decolors the mind from its anxiety, wandering state and suffering. Are you getting it? I'm trying to explain everything logically. I'm not talking of any God or a cult and a dogma and a belief. Remember, if you do practice one type of meditation, that is also true. One can achieve, but it becomes a cult. When we do different practices of meditation, we break that notion that this is the only way. There are hundreds and thousands of ways. No, don't be so serious. Let us start. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. So, close your eyes. Let us start our journey of meditation. So, first is eyes are closed. Let us go a little deeper with the same mantra. So, first is I am. Become aware of I am. Then I know I am. I believe you know you are. Why? We are conscious being. And this I am is only one reality pervading everywhere. That is why I am in Ananda. That is what is absolute existence, consciousness and bliss, my friends. So look at the body. Looking at the body, you see that when the mind, I told you, when the mind is absorbed into the body, because of tiredness, because of extreme attachment to the body, that leads us to the second subjective state of the mind. It appears like mindfulness or meditation, but it is not. Can we recognize that? But here we say we are adding satoguna. Means I say become aware of the body from the top of the head to the toes and experience the steadiness in the body. And then look inside the heart. Look inside the heart in the space. You are looking inside the heart in the space. And in that space, you look at a point in the space. The reference point is point in the space inside the heart. And our first line of the mantra, we sing together, singing and listening. You are singing mentally. Why I started singing mentally, I jumped from to the third stage directly. So when you are singing mentally, you can do it at any point, any time in your daily life. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. 3 times. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Now, singing, listening, and meaning. What is the meaning? Well-being. Well-being. So, well-being, sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. You see the well-being everywhere. Now understand that very seeing. First, let us do it. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Now singing, listening, meaning and applied knowledge means the wisdom. I just give you a clue. When you sing, you know the meaning and you see that very meaning in yourself and everywhere. How can you say the person is your honey? You see that being honey in that person. You love someone. You see that love in that person. Same way. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir-bhavatu. Second is singing and listening. Just mentally you sing. What do you sing? You are listening. In the first stage. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Singing, listening and meaning. Shanti means peace. Did I tell you peace? The space within. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Meaning. The world is physical. Meaning is subtle. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. You see that? Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Now singing, listening and meaning and applied knowledge. You see the peace behind and inside is all pervading. It is pervading, it is present in our friend, in our enemies, in our strangers, everywhere. Can we really see that? Pull the mind to see it. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir-bhavatu. When women told me in the beginning it was difficult, but after 6 or 7 weeks, she says that I'm constantly singing. And now it comes naturally to me when I go to work. So I had some reservation against my colleague at work, and that reservation is gone because it was causing trouble. Third line, singing and meaning, singing and listening. Sarvesham, Sarvesham. Where did you? Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. You pay attention, you extract the knowledge, you extract the cream from the word. Now singing, listening and meaning. Meaning is completeness, wholeness. I am whole. What it means? The mind stands within you. It doesn't go outside. It is only because of incompleteness the mind is running in the first three states. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Singing, listening and meaning. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. 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 While singing, listening and meaning, we are doing 6 times, and singing, listening, meaning and the knowledge also 6 times. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Just be there. You see that sense of completeness. Now you don't depend on the mantra and the word every time you speak. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. 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 Last line, singing and listening. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Singing, listening and meaning. This is very powerful. If you are singing in your mind with the meaning, with the knowledge, and we'll go a step further today. Singing, listening and meaning. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 Singing, listening, meaning and the knowledge 6 times. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 Mangalam, auspicious. Chant mentally couple of times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You see that Shanti. You see, that is the goal of this chanting. Simply chanting habitually. When you don't have a right knowledge to chant, why I am chanting, what happens? Habitual, mechanical, and then mind says, okay, you want to change me, now I will change you. Master every time stress, knowing with clarity, doubt-free knowledge. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I know I did talk about 4 steps: being a listener, being a speaker, no listener, no speaker, and breaking the habitual pattern. So we will use that. Just imagine you wake up in the morning. Visualize you wake up in the morning. And you are singing mentally. Sarvesham. Anyone. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Now imagine, visualize, you are going to sleep, you lie down on your bed, you switch off the light, put on the fan or switch off, putting the blanket on the body, and the body is lying in a corpse pose, and then you sing Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Just imagine you are in a restroom after wake up in the morning and the mind goes there. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. You are in a kitchen. Just imagine you are in a kitchen and you remember. You are walking. Visualize you are walking and you remember. You are talking. Visualize and you are reciting. Imagine a person you like and you are doing it. Imagine a person you do not like, you are singing in your mind. The mind should decolor the crazy stuff and color with this mantra. Now, only once What is the message here? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. So we understood a state of well-being. What happens when there is a state of well-being? You experience Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. You experience peace. So well-being and peace merge together. And when they both merge together, then what happens? You experience the sense of wholeness. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Can we become aware of the well-being, peace and sense of completeness? Then what happens? Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Auspicious moment. What? Auspicious? So your every moment in your life passes through auspiciousness. That is the essence of this mantra. That is why I have been requesting, please do it, do it, do it, do it. Let the mind pick up, discover, experience auspiciousness from one moment to the next, from one activity to the next, from waking to sleeping to dreaming to waking up, from talking to honey, from talking to a stranger. Every activity should be coming from or guided by that auspiciousness. That is the one goal of these mantras. Beautiful. Now you see the space outside the head and the neck. You are moving into an auspicious moment that contains the well-being, the peace, and the sense of wholeness. From the space around the head and the neck to the shape, next moment, auspicious. You see the shape. Now you experience the sensation, auspicious. That is how our masters explained it. And then you experience the stillness within, in the body, in the head and the neck. Right arm in the cylindrical space. And the moment you are aware of the cylindrical space, you see that auspicious moment is there. Every moment, from moment to moment. So looking at the cylindrical space all around the right arm, to the shape of the right arm, a space, shape, then the sensation, but the auspiciousness is in the background. You see, I have been stressing again and again, you should have a right knowledge based on the teachings of our masters. I'm not teaching, I don't know anything. And experience that state of the stillness within. That stillness is also with the auspicious moment. It blows our mind. Is it possible? Mind says, by practice we make it possible. cylindrical space all around the left arm. Remember the auspicious movement from the space to the shape, shape to the sensation, sensation to the stillness in the left arm. The middle portion of the body and a circle of a space all around the chest and the belly. You may say, should I imagine? Okay, imagine. What you imagine is a fact. No worries. It doesn't disturb your mind. And from the space to the shape is physical, is less important than moving in auspiciousness. I think you all have picked up the point. The words are physical. The very discernment is subtle. The mind must move into subtle shape in the sensation, and from the sensation, the stillness there. It is the stillness in the body, not stillness of the body. You see, the knowing makes a tremendous difference. Stillness of the body, mind has to work. Stillness in the body, the mind is free. Mind only has to recognize. It is there. Cylindrical space all around the right leg. Auspicious moment now you remember to the shape of the right leg. Sensation there, again auspiciousness. Stillness there, again that auspiciousness continues. It's a one stream. Cylindrical space all around the left leg. I add steps in meditation from different tradition to accelerate the process. So the space all around the left leg. Now what you remember, I know you remember movement, so you remember auspiciousness to the shape, sensation, stillness, entire body in a cylindrical space. Auspiciousness, shape, sensation, stillness, moving the mind, casually walking, taking your time in that auspicious moment, from the crown of the head to the heart. When you are saying Om, in that auspicious moment, you deepen, you go deeper, from the heart to the crown of the head. Om. Take your own time. Beautiful. Do nothing now. Once we return, we will share our experiences, followed by any question that you have. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Can you pick up the auspicious moment? That is what we did today. When I'm chanting, you pick up that. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Can you live into that state? Bring your mind to the right hand, your mind to the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Let us share our experiences. How are you, my friend Sam?
You hear me?
Yeah.
Great. So last Thursday, I mentioned, everything seemed to be up here, and I felt like was growing. This one, after you said to focus on the heart, I was definitely focused in here the whole time, and I felt myself shrinking into the center and lowering into the ground. Yeah. And I was seeing a lot of shapes and colors while you were chanting and while we were listening. And I was so, I think, content that when you got to the end and you said, feel your right, feel your left, put your hands up, I did it in my head, but I wasn't actually doing it. I was just focused up here. I was just like, oh, they're up on my face. Oh, no, they're not. Let me move my body now.
That's a deeper state. That's a deeper. Yeah. Continue the practice regularly. We have to reach to that higher state. So just for a comment that all these experiences, from where they come, what is that state? Is there a challenge in these experiences or not? So I'm not saying anything of this. As we progress further, we will understand that what is that meditative state from where this experience comes. How are you, Lara?
I am well. The chanting, I had a really interesting experience. It was actually, my eyes would not stop watering while it was going on. So there was definitely some emotion or something moving through is what I'm connecting with. I did have an experience. There was, I have a sort of a non-big deal issue, but that it must be bothering me. And so it came up really quickly, like while we were doing that, like really loud in my face. And I was like, okay, I gotta look at this differently and then not deal with it because this is not me.
Not me.
And you know what that is. And then when we got to the body, it was interesting because every time you went to mention the body, I would lose that part of the body. I didn't feel anything. I felt it before, because then I was like, well, wait a second, am I feeling my right arm? I was like, oh, they're wet. And then the left arm, I was like, I'm feeling the left arm. And then when you went the left arm wet. So that was sort of interesting to kind of lose that.
Yeah. So losing that obviously means the mind is going deeper and deeper. Yes, yes, we have to continue. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very good experience for me. The cylinder outside of the limbs. Usually, I'm looking from the inside out at this cylinder, and this time I was removed from my body, looking at those cylinders, and the feeling of it was totally different, which was really interesting.
Good.
So, and then the dropping the Om from the top of the head to the heart, I just went into like deep dark space.
Beautiful. That's good. And how are you, Jerry?
Well, sir, the mantra stayed with me for the entire meditation. So that was interesting. I didn't drop the mantra, even though I
Beautiful.
followed you, but yet the mantra stayed with me. So I kept doing the mantra till the very end until you did Om Shanti.
Yeah,
So
that is really good. And
that
you
was
see
interesting.
that even don't leave the mantra here and now when we are sharing our experiences. That too would be something extraordinary. So that is why this mantra has been discovered. So what is going to happen after some time? Even mentally, you leave the mantra in a word format, but still you remember them in the knowledge. Do you see what I'm saying? That may happen. How are you, Terry?
Okay. I don't know how to say what I was experiencing, but right at the end, I remember that you said that a movement is a word is a thought, and I felt like my movements were also thoughts.
Yeah.
And so I just treated them the same as other thoughts.
You see,
And
Terry thinks a lot.
yeah.
But you see how she found out? World is also a movement. Definitely it is a movement. I wanted to take up that. Maybe I'll take up the next week. World is also a movement. We have to see what is behind the movement. Om Shanti. It is a word, but I see that peace there. That is one of the main purpose of mantra Lara. Yes. So, Stephen.
It was a very interesting meditation from different experiences than things I've had before. From the start, as soon as we settled in and settled the body, I felt this. I was really focused in on that spot, getting to that one spot inside the heart, and I just felt from the time I started the meditation, I was in the back of my head, and then immediately dropped into that single spot in my heart, and I felt like I was tumbling into it, but in complete control. And then I settled there.
Settled there.
Yep, and I was there the entire time through the mantra. That whole singing of the mantra just created what I thought was chills in my body, that I thought I was having a temperature change. It really wasn't. I just felt the prana just flowing up and down through my body, that it was like one of those rides at the carnival that swings back and forth. I felt it going above my head and then right down past my toes and then back up again. And I was like, okay, just let this all happen.
Beautiful.
which I did, and it was just that whole way throughout, and then the cylinders around the body parts actually did turn into chills, to where I felt my body temperature drop and get really cold.
Yes,
and then came back out. So it was great.
Beautiful. Everyone is progressing, and you are progressing very well into this journey. As I said, that we will talk about these experiences. These experiences points out that where we are in a meditation. But until that mind has to drop that ego sense completely, then only we can talk about these experiences with reference to the different stages of meditation. That will make a sense. That is how this teaching goes. Beautiful. How are you, Sergey? We have...
Very calm, very deep. I briefly can't remember what's going on. Remember mantras, and it's not a lot I can say. I'm just going deeper, deeper, and deeper, and deeper, and deeper, and then coming back at the very end.
Beautiful. That too is you are aware of that. That is a good experience. Now, did you pick up the one of the most important takeaways? Yeah, that is okay. Buddha says nothingness. Patanjali says I am the witness of nothingness, and ultimately, that wave is nothingness, and I am an ocean, so what a difference it makes. That is one takeaway. The second takeaway, do you remember? From well-being merges into peace. Well-being and peace merges into wholeness. And all the three merges into an auspicious moment. And what is that auspicious moment? Here and now. Every moment. Every activity in your life. Are you getting it? So whether you are with me or you are not with me, whether you are with a honey, your friend or your enemy, anywhere, every moment, whether you are in a sleeping, in a waking state, can I live into that waking state of auspiciousness? It takes you deeper. That is all for today. Keep smiling, Lara. She smiled before I said to. It is gone to her. That is all for today. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
We'll meet on this.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om.